Hey guys, it's been several days since there's been an update in the case of missing Eliza and Henrietta Huszti from Aberdeen in Scotland. And there's a small update today, but it's not a very nice update, I guess, but it's one that had to happen. And that is that the police have now ended their search of the River Dee and the nearby harbour for Eliza and Henrietta. The last time they were known to be alive was 2:12 a.m. on January the 7th, when they were caught on CCTV very close to Victoria Bridge on Market Street in Aberdeen. They took a right onto a river path and they have not been seen since. So there's some odd circumstances to this case. So I'm going to read this article from the Scottish Herald. River Dee search for Eliza and Henrietta abandoned. Police searching for missing twins. They're actually two parts of a set of triplets, but they are identical. Have ended their search in the River Dee and Aberdeen Harbour, but say there is nothing to suggest any suspicious circumstances. Both 32, the sisters moved to Aberdeen from Hungary and went missing at the beginning of January. The police revealed that the Huszti sisters had informed their landlord of their intention to move out shortly before their disappearance, something their brother said the family were unaware of. I've covered all of this in videos. They spoke to their mother back in Hungary on the Saturday, and then it's the early hours of the Tuesday morning in which they went missing. And at 2:12 a.m, so the very time that they were seen on CCTV, they'd actually texted their landlord saying that they were vacating the apartment that they were living in as of immediate effect. And it was actually the landlord on the Tuesday afternoon that reported them missing. The Hungarian tabloid Blick reported on Sunday that police were no longer searching in the River Dee and that officers were instead analysing phone records, text messages and correspondence. So we know that that has already started. We know that the police had their phone records and were going through them. That will now become the, I guess, main part of the investigation. Contacted by the Herald, Police Scotland confirmed that the search in the river had ended, but clarified it was ongoing elsewhere and underlined that there was nothing to suggest any suspicious circumstances involved with their disappearance. Superintendent David Howison said the investigation continues to trace Eliza and Henrietta, who were last seen on Market Street at the Victoria Bridge over the River Dee at 2:12 a.m. on Tuesday, 7th of January. Our thoughts are very much with the family at what is a very difficult time. Extensive and detailed searches have been carried out of the River Dee and the harbour area, using local and national specialist police resources, including the Dive and Marine Unit, police dogs and air support, and those of partner agencies. These searches have now concluded at this time, but enquiries will be ongoing to trace Eliza and Henrietta. Coastal areas both north and south of Aberdeen City will continue to be searched, and any further information received by police will be acted upon. I would again stress that there is nothing to suggest any suspicious circumstances or criminality. Anyone with information is asked to contact Police Scotland on 101, quoting incident number 0735 of Tuesday, 7th of January 2025. So it had to happen. They can't search the river indefinitely. We're now on the 27th of January, so 20 days they've searched that river. It is very cold waters. If they did enter the river, either accidentally or because they chose to do so, they may not surface because it's extremely cold water until that water warms up. You know, any search has to end, resources have to be considered and allocated elsewhere eventually. But it doesn't mean to say that the police are not investigating. I think the police are considering all angles. That, their working hypothesis at first was that they'd entered the river, and that still has to be there. Just because they haven't been found in 20 days doesn't mean to say they're not in the river or the harbour. If they've gone out to sea already, then it's an impossible task. That's then up to nature to reveal them, and then someone presumably will come across them, washed back in. But they're not looking just for one body, they're looking for two bodies. So they got two chances. You would assume that if one body is found having been washed up, the other one's also out there. If they've chosen or fallen, they've gone together, doesn't mean to say that the bodies will stay together, obviously, once they've entered the water. But the police do have to consider the unusual circumstances at which they disappeared. That they said that they were leaving their flat immediately and then just left everything in there. It's a very strange one. But I think the police, in confirming that there's nothing suspicious, means that they're ruling out a crime. There's no evidence that a crime has been committed, crime against them, that they've been abducted. But whatever has happened to them, perhaps, is at their own hand. Whether that's taking their own lives or whether that's getting out of there somewhere, somehow, and being alive somewhere, and have just left everything behind. So, we await further updates. I'll see you very soon. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Bye for now, guys.